NC4XL, North Carolina for extreme lovers, and I'm not. Just Donald, the darling old man. This video is going to pertain to some of the things you may not want to do when you go out to an activation and so forth. So, primarily for the activators. When we go out to parks, you don't have to go to the office and say, hey, I'm so-and-so, my call sign is, and I'm going to ask permission to do an activation for POTA. Don't do that. It's not that we're not proud of what we do, but you don't need to draw attention to yourself, because most likely the term, do you have a special permit? Now a can of worms has just gotten opened up. And what I am implying is not illegal or immoral. It's just, if you don't have to, don't create an obstacle for yourself. I would say 90% of us actually go out, find a location we're going to activate from, and we set our antennas up until at such time somebody comes to us and asks what we're doing, and then we can address the fact I'm talking around the world testing my emergency communication system out. Another thing is, I have found in my few activations, I don't put a flag up anymore that says POTA, Parks on the Air, or anything like that. Because again, I'm not trying to draw attention. It's not that I'm an old man, senile, and don't want to talk AM radio. That is not the case. But when that white flag or that banner is up, people have a tendency to flock over like mosquitoes or flies to see what's going on. Thus, you run into some more scenarios of rangers who don't know what their exact ruling is to allow people to sit in their car or put an antenna up in a tree or put an antenna on the ground. They don't have any, so it appears at this present time they create a little disagreement, and most of the time we have to leave. Very simple as that. I don't want you to find yourself in that predicament. Again, go to your park. If you can find a place out of sight, out of mind, that's the best, because you're not going to have a lot of foot traffic, hopefully. And many times when you have a lot of foot traffic, what happens is they want to ask, what kind of bait are you using on that fishing pole to get that antenna up in the air? What's that wire up there? Are you talking to aliens? And the list of questions goes on. So, that is just an opinion. If you have a device that is used to project through an air device type thing, potato cannon, I think they call it, whatever, please be very careful, because in some places they may consider that a weapon, even though it's not going to hurt literally people. Looking at the device, it can create some problem. Some of us use arbors. Some of us use fishing poles. That's what I use, with a 3-ounce sinker, and throw it up and over the tree. Again, these are just some things over a period of time that I thought I'd share with the new activators to think about. When you're out activating, always take your extra pens and paper, a notebook or whatever, because you may run into a power failure, a battery died on the computer, those kind of things. When that happens, it builds an immediate frustration level that's hard to overcome when you're on the air. So I always try to have a backup. 2 is 1, 1 is none. For myself, I paper log anyway, so I don't have to worry about that. I just have to make sure I got extra notepads and so forth, or extra pens, or extra hand warmers for when the weather's cold, I can keep my hands warm. That comes from experience. If you have a sheltering device, pop-up tent, that's nice. Again, remembering that some things draw attention from other people if you can avoid it. You go out and you have fun. And remember, as an activator, you run your activation the way you want. Some of us do lists, some of us do call areas, some of us do one at a time. And some people will wait and a lot of people don't. If you're working during contest time, they don't care about your park, so don't get excited about telling them about your park because they don't care. They just want to contact. If you're out there, work every contester that's out there on one end of the band to the other end of the band and activate that way and never spot yourself. Just go work them. So, some other things to do. Remember to go out and have fun. If you have banners and things like that, it's going to draw attention. And how much time do you have to spend talking amateur radio, doing contacts, catching up? A lot of things involved, but you know, it's all part of it. So hopefully this will help a few of you out. God bless you. November Charlie 4XL Lima, NC4XL Dom at the doctor's office 73s.